Welcome to HDTV. You now rocking with your boy. The Knicks emerge as a potential Russell Westbrook suitor. James Harden and Russell Westbrook were eliminated from the playoffs by the Los Angeles Lakers this week. And this is by Game 7 again. And Charles Kruger published this on September 16th. Following a surprising Game 1 upset victory, the Rockets dropped 4 straight outings in disappointing fashion. On the flight back home to Houston, head coach Mike D'Antoni announced that he was leaving. He is expected to land with Indiana Pacers or Philadelphia 76ers. He's going to the Pacers. Based on how this year came to an end, for the Rockets, it is clear that improvements need to be made. What is less clear, however, is how precisely the team aims to make them. James Harden is owed $41.3 million in 2020-21. Westbrook is due $41.4 million. Eric Gordon will command $16.9 million. By 2022 and 23, those three guys alone will be pulling in By 2022-23, those three guys alone will be pulling in $114 million combined. It will be difficult to reshape the roster around what Houston's new head coach wants with that much cash tied up. Someone needs to go. Harden has been essential to the Rockets' identity over the past decade, so Westbrook feels like the odd man out. The question is, who would take him in his massive deal? Recently, Eric Pincus of Bleacher Report spoke to an Eastern Conference executive who suggested the New York Knicks as a possible suitor. I think we all realize that Harden and Westbrook aren't the perfect fit for one another. The Eastern Conference executive told Pincus, but I think they might just have to move forward with those two and continue to try to build the roster around them. The New York Knicks might be one of the only teams that could be a fit for Westbrook. The Knicks have made it no secret that they want to part ways with Julius Randle ASAP. If the front office were to use some combination of him and one of the other 30 forwards on the team's roster, New York could offer the Rockets some big man depth in return for a proven star in Westbrook. Obviously, the move comes with some risk. Many believe Westbrook's best days are behind him and that he will not age as gracefully as players less reliant on their pure athleticism. The flip side to that coin is who can they get that is better? Countless free agents have passed them by in recent years, including both Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving just last year. Who could the Knicks realistically look forward to signing? Giannis Antetokounmpo, unlikely. Paul George or Kawhi Leonard if the Los Angeles Clippers fall apart? Maybe, but also doubtful. There's been some idle chatter regarding doing something for Devin Booker, but other than that, there is no one that is actually being linked to the Knicks aside from Chris Paul, Carmelo Anthony, and Victor Oladipo. Signing Westbrook makes roughly as much sense as signing any of those guys. This is going to be an interesting offseason for the Knicks. With Leon Rose not to helm, the strategy he employs over the next few months will be very telling as it pertains to the direction of the franchise. Could Westbrook land in the Big Apple next year when the Knicks are involved? Never say never. So, where should Westbrook go? Russell Westbrook. I call him broke because he has the most broken shot I've ever seen, and even if it's not going down, he gonna ball for broke. But where Westbrook gonna go, man? Would he fit in the New York? Would he fit that type of system? Like, he'll bring star power, but what else would he bring? The guy is not clutch, man. He doesn't know how to be a point guard. You are trying to bring winners into New York. You've had years of losing. You don't need Russell Westbrook. What you need to do is try to go after Giannis Antetokounmpo, which you most likely might not get, or you could try to go after Devin Booker, or you can go after what was the other guy too? I would go for Chris Paul. Chris Paul's too old. You need to build from the ground up. Who else they said again? Carmelo. Only way I bring Carmelo back is if you got somebody that's an established star that's gonna be there. But to me, it's like, who are you gonna get for Westbrook? Is he worth it? This guy single-handedly pushed Kevin Durant out. Not only that, he had Carmelo and Paul George. They all failed. Then he went to Houston with Harden, albeit he was hurt and he did have COVID. You know, you have to factor that into his playing because he wasn't healthy when he came back. He was still hurt. He still was playing hurt. And he had to try to come back and save Harden, who I don't understand how he's getting a pass. I would have been traded his ass a long time ago. I mean, I would have. Like, I don't know why Choking continues to be continues to be getting a pass. Like, through all of these failures with Kevin McHale, they blamed McHale. After McHale, they blamed who did they blame? They blamed Chris Paul. And Chris Paul got them to the Western Conference Finals. You know, it's crazy. And then when Harden, when they played against the Clippers with Chris Paul, James Harden basically, he was choking. He was choking again. And Josh Smith and that bench saved him from a 3-1 loss because they were down 3-1 and they came back to win. And it wasn't because of him. It was because of Jay Smooth. And Jay Smooth has been disrespected ever since. That's why he went out there and called Doc Rivers a bum, because Doc Rivers could have had him on the team that year where they lost that 3-1 lead. And I don't know how Doc keeping his job, but I got a video coming this weekend. I got to watch Game 6, Game 7, and I'm gonna go on the video, and I'm gonna tell you about the games, and I'm gonna go in on the Clippers. All of them ain't getting no pass. I'm riding all of them. But to me, the New York Knicks, what they have to do, they have to find a player and they have to build around them. James Dolan has to learn, shut the hell up, get out the way. Let the GM and them guys do their job. You stay your ass way over here doing whatever you doing in Cabo or wherever you go, drinking your Mai Tais. I don't know what you do. But you need to stay out of this process if you want the Knicks to get better. The Knicks need a staple. Then what the Knicks has to do, they have to groom their young talent. You see, you have to come up with a farm system where you could take your young talent from. The Miami Heat have showed you the blueprint. Put you a team in Arizona, a G League team or D League team, and then you just pull your talent from there, and boom, they're ready to go. But see, James Dolan is so dumb. He's so stupid and caught up in. He remind me of Jerry Jones. They both just can't stay out of their own damn way, and that's why they continue to lose. But the Knicks, you have a history. You guys could bring somebody in who could bring star power, bring the right people in, and you're good. Let your GM do their job. To me, firing Fizdale was dumb. You should have never fired Fizdale because you had him as a coach. He was a staple. But you got rid of the brother man because he's a brother. But if it was the white guy, you'd have let him stay for 4 or 5 years. Okay, now y'all got Thibodeau. So let Thibodeau coach his players up and to do what he has to do. Now, if Westbrook comes to New York, how would him and Thibodeau fare? I think Westbrook needs a coach like Tom Thibodeau. He does. Because Thibodeau would teach him defense. Offensively, I don't know how that's going to fare because his offenses have been terrible. But he's coached great defense. But Westbrook would have to fall in a line. He would basically, Thibodeau would turn him into a two-way player. Turn him into a defensive guy. But Westbrook would have to buy into it. He would have to. Could he buy into it? We don't know. But to me, I think they ought to go after. To me, I don't think they ought to go after Oladipo. If they could get Devin Booker, that would be great. Would I get Westbroke? I mean, you don't need him to. You already sell tickets. It's the Garden. The Garden is going to sell itself. But I'm just saying, who you need a guy with championship DNA. So to me, I don't know. What I would do is I've been hearing rumors. I would try to trade for Trey Young. If I can't get him or get LaMelo Ball in the draft, I'm going to try to make that trade for Westbrook. If you do get Westbrook gonna have to change his game, man. He gonna have to work on his game. He got the heart, he got the tenacity, but he just doesn't have the skill or the basketball IQ. That's why I wish I could take James Harden's skill and his IQ and put it in Russ, or put Russ's heart in James Harden. That would be a hell of a damn player. That player would be unstoppable. But apart, they're not that good. But let me know, man, in the comment section, do you think Westbrook would be a great fit? Do you think he'll be a great fit in New York? I don't think he would be. But I don't know. It could work with Thibodeau. Like if you bring him there and he's the only guy, he the only star, then I could go with that. And then Thibodeau could just put pieces around them and then they could run with that. I think they could make the playoffs if they did that. Seriously. But Westbrook, if he plays with somebody else, like, you're not going to bring Melo back and Westbrook. That ain't worked before. So now Oladipo, now, if you are able to swing Oladipo there and bring Westbrook in, that'll work because those two actually complemented each other very well. So let me know in the comment section, man. But you gotta remember, you got RJ Barrett there. Would that stunt RJ Barrett's growth? Like, would Russell Westbrook get in his way? You got to think about things like that. So let me know, is Westbrook a great fit for New York? Let me know in the comment section. I don't think he would be. So just let me know, like, comment, subscribe, share this, hit the notification bell to select all to receive upcoming content. And I will be doing a review of that Clippers game 6 and 7 collapse. Already saw game 5. I'm going to do game 6 and 7. And I'm going to give my thoughts on the totality of the future of the Clippers and what happened then. I'm also going to do a recap on Bengals and Browns. I have the game recorded. I will watch it. And I will give my assessment on that. And I will give my assessment on the Miami and the Celtics game 1 and 2. I will give you my assessment, and I'm also going to give the assessment tonight of the Lakers versus the Nuggets tomorrow. I'm gonna get all this done on Saturday night and on Sunday as well. And next week I'm going to do the recap of the NFL Week 2, and that will be coming Tuesday. Remember, Monday Night Football has to happen, and I will give you my assessment on all those games. Thank you for listening, man. And if you want to donate to the page, cash at me at Harry2, which is HARRY2. If you want to cash at me, you can. If you want to donate to the page, cash at me at Harry2, HARRY2. And shoot, we out. La boy.